Let's now talk about a multi-perspective approach and public discourse. This approach may help us to understand and analyze discourses about terrorism and violence also. There could be multiple interpretations about critical discourse analysis and its roles, but among all those communications or interpretations, one of the most common points have been that critical discourse analysis deals with power, ideology, and identity related issues in a society. And it deals with all those discourses which not only highlight but manipulate these issues in the interest of one group or another. So, therefore, language has been an important component of such constructions of these issues, and therefore, language is seen as a social practice, not only as a collection of words or any other things. It is in this regard that CDA is unique in many ways with its emphasis on problem oriented language use in real life social situations, and that makes it a disciplinary subject, because in order to dig an issue deep into a society, you need to take help from other disciplines, also maybe sociology, politics, and other academic disciplines. It is not interested in investigating a linguistic unit per se, but rather studying social phenomena which are necessarily complex and thus require a multidisciplinary and multi methodological approach. So, uh, uh, a critical discourse analysis study might take help not only from other disciplines for its theoretical but also for its methodological working. To define it in simpler terms, with the discourse of illusion, may be one option to see how discourse is created according to the whims or desires of certain individuals. So it deals with the subjective conceptualization of reality emerging from a historical repository of experiences embodying various linguistic and semiotic resources, often leading to intended social outcomes, the outcomes which have been projected, which has been seen or planned by a certain group while creating certain kind of linguistic messages, maybe in public or private discourses. The discourse of illusion is such complex and multifaceted concept. It requires an appropriately integrated methodological approach to allow a closer analysis of how it is realized, including intentions of the producer or actor, power struggles within social domains, in addition to the socio-political and historical context which influence the individual repositories of experience. So it deals with all those power conflicts about which a certain discourse is created also. Bhatia has proposed a theoretical framework to deal with the discourse of illusion, and one of the important elements in his framework is historicity. Historicity deals with the habitus, which is key to the discourse of illusion, because it deals with the recontextualization of past knowledge and experience into present day action based on certain, obviously, manipulation, certain aims targeted by the one who creates this. So historicity is one key element to see the discourse of religion. It is focused on structured immediacy, that means concentrating on how participants enrich the here and now of action by connecting it to the past. How the present event is connected to the past and it is given new meaning. Most of the time, the meanings which are in favor of the producer of that discourse. Similarly, the present events may be related to some possible future events, just to emphasize on their importance for the people who are the target of that discourse. Then it looks into linguistic and semiotic actions, which are also based on subjective conceptualization of the world, and they give rise to various semiotic and linguistic resources, primarily relying on metaphorical rhetoric. And in order to analyze such things, such metaphorical rhetorics, we may use critical discourse analysis, which focuses on critical metaphor analysis. And this technique uh, was proposed by Black in 2004. And that there can be other studies which can help us in conducting this kind of metaphor analysis also. So in order to dig linguistic and semiotic analysis, we can rely on critical metaphor analysis. Further, it is very important to see the possible or desired social impact of the producer of a certain discourse. And for this purpose, we can rely on various categories and stereotypes which are generated in such discourses. And for this purpose, we can take help from the concept of categorization proposed by JC in 1984. And there are other theories about categorization, social categorization also. You can also take help from them also. So categorization explicates how people organize their moral positions and commitments around certain category identities, how they relate to their possible benefits, to certain identity constructions, certain social and moral standpoints, and convince others that they are on the right track. To enrich the investigation based on these three interrelated elements, by that I mean historicity, based on history of the events or of the actions being conducted now, then the linguistic and semiotic resources being employed, and then of social impact. There may be a range of lexicosyntactical or semantico pragmatic tools which may be used to unearth the hidden meaning. Uh, some of these tools may include those including uh, temporal references, maybe metaphors to pie, insinuation, positive and negative, positive self representation and negative other representation, and maybe certain elements of identity construction. There may be many other. The point on which I want to conclude this is that the discourses of public importance, which include discourses about terrorism and violence, also may be interpreted from multiple perspectives. And one perspective which I have just shared is a multi-faceted perspective based on the history of the event, various semiotic and linguistic resources which have been employed, and the reader or analyst must also look at the socio-political impact of which a certain discourse intends to produce.